Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Joey Galvez, one half of your host of Explain Yourself, and I want to let you guys know about a really cool book from our friend of the show, Eli Shockey. This one is called The Greylock, and it's a story where magic is a commodity. Potions are sold at corner stores. Orcs and dwarves earn a living in cubicles, not on the battlefields. But there are those who resist the house's magic's laws. Branded a criminal and forced to live as a wand for hire, there is a spell slinger they call the Greylock. Check this one out. You guys can pre-order issue 3 right now with code JAN241939, and make sure you guys are heading over to your favorite LCS and letting them know that you want Greylock number 3, and maybe pick up the first 2 issues. You could do that at the Scout web store. So make sure you guys are grabbing the Greylock number 3, JAN241939 at previewsworld.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael Econe II, and with me, as always, is...
My name is Sesame Foreman Encarta.
Alright, good name. A very, strong name. The type of name that instills confidence. And
yeah,
leadership.
I think so too. It kind of rides the line between, like super powerful, and it's got, a little bit of softness to it. So it's kind of like a good like mixture,
Be a good superhero name, Four-Man. Oh, wait.
Four-Man. Yeah, Four-Man.
There's actually his cousin Three-Man, and his...
He just used his forearm as like his weapon. That's all he could do. His forearm's like really strong, but nothing else.
It's like Popeye.
Yeah. It's like a weird power to have. It's kind of useless, but it's something. So,
yeah. Well, there's worse comic book characters in the DC and Marvel universe.
Oh, I know. Like, what was a dude? There was a guy named like Armless Legless Man or something like that. Literally,
that was what it was.
And like I think he was only in like one issue or something, and he like wanted revenge against something because I don't know, he invented some kind of toxin. I don't remember what it was, something like that. It was it. He was only in I think it was a thing of Moon Knight, I think, and I don't remember, but yeah, there's lots of weird like D list or F list characters.
There should be like a I mean, I'm sure they've got things like this in the DC and Marvel, lexicon of books and stuff, but there should just be one that just the book's just called Frank, and it's just a guy named Frank.
That's it.
Goes to his job and does normal things, and goes on a date and goes to dinner and different things, that normal people would do, and all while this is going on, you see in the background, superheroes doing their thing.
So his superpower is that he like observes other superheroes.
No, he just doesn't even notice them. It's just happening around.
It's just in the background.
Yes.
Okay, I guess that's something. I don't know. But...
Yes. But speaking of people with superpowers.
Yeah.
There's this really interesting superpower that people have sometimes where they take a TV show from one country and transplant it to their country.
Oh, okay.
And remake it.
I
sometimes
mean,
while the original show is still on the air, even.
is that a power? That's interesting. I mean,
Oh, it's a power.
okay.
Um, and in this case, the people with the power worked at ITV in London. Um, and they took the American sitcom That 70s Show, created by Bonnie and Terry Turner and Mark Bazell. Bonnie and Terry from the Toledo area of Ohio.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why in That 70s Show, the town is called Point Place,
Oh, okay.
because there's a section of Toledo called Point Place. So, yeah, they also were writers on. They also, I mean, they were also the creators of Third Rock from the Sun. That's why it takes place in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, the town in that show is loosely based on Bowling Green, but that's neither here nor there. What we are covering is a show called Days Like These, which is a British version of the American sitcom That 70s Show, which aired for 10 episodes.
Hmm.
It was canceled after 6. They produced 13. Only 10 of them aired. And it ran from February 12th to July 14th of 1999. And pretty much every episode was just a script of an episode of That 70s Show redone. Almost
So,
verbatim.
yeah, so that started like pretty much the same year then that 70s Show did.
That 70s Show premiered like a year before. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Like 98 then or
But
something. Okay.
but it was interesting because I was reading some interesting trivia about one of the episodes of Days Like These that was based on an episode of That 70s Show, because they had gotten the scripts from them, actually aired 5 weeks before the American version of the episode,
Wow.
because they got to it in their lineup first. So, oh boy. But yeah, it was like maybe a half a year earlier that the other one started. So,
Okay.
yeah. Probably in the fall here, and then it started in the winter there. So, yeah. So, initial thoughts here on Days Like These. The pilot, that's all we've seen. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only one. I mean, man, like it feels like some kind of alternate timeline where like that's the real show, and it's just like some bizarro world. It's just like like you said, it was like pretty much the exact same script except for like a few tweaks here and there. Like at one point, they're watching like Doctor Who in the garage, whereas in that 70s show they're watching I don't know some other show or whatever. And
Brady Bunch.
yeah, it's really stuff like that's inconsequential. But I don't know, man. I mean, I do kind of like the dad character a little better, not because of the acting, but he's just like he's not as mean as Red. I don't know.
Well, I think it depends. I mean, Red was a mean guy with a heart of gold that you saw from time to time, but like the pilot episode isn't really where you can flesh that out totally, in my opinion, on That 70s Show after watching both of them. But but if you watch the whole series, yeah, but I understand, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think I've watched the entire series, but I have watched,
yeah.
numerous. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like the dad character, British version, British dad, I'm going to call him.
Yeah.
And
he's renamed Ron instead of Red.
Yeah. Ron, yeah. But some of them, some of the cast, just like for example, like McGuire was supposed to be Kelso. I didn't really care for. It seemed like almost like too exaggerated, like he was trying to be Kelso too hard. I don't know, and I did like the woman that they had for Donna, or girl,
Yeah.
for Donna. I mean, she doesn't really look like her necessarily, but she's got red hair and stuff like that. But uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's kind of hard to really gauge because it's the same exact script. But
Yeah.
it is kind of bizarre though.
It's like it's the same but like lower budget as well. And
Yeah.
it almost feels like in a way that you're watching like a Saturday Night Live sketch version
Yeah.
of that 70s show, and randomly all the actors have British accents.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Yeah. There's a part where like again they're trying to mimic everything, like the part where they have like the helium balloons, like
Mhm.
just felt so like forced to me,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the bumpers. Yeah. The so yeah, it's a interesting thing, I mean, they obviously were betting on this being a big thing over there, but see, the thing is, I don't really understand sometimes, like this, and like we recently covered Coupling, which they tried to remake as an American show. Sometimes taking an American show and then making it your own, like, I mean, I'm taking an American show or a British show and making it your own, like The Office did with the U.S. Office. Like the pilot, yeah, it's pretty much the same as the British version, but then after that they decided to branch out on their own and create their own path forward because the episodes aren't the same after that. This, I've seen a few of the episodes. It's been a while. They're all, and the same thing with Coupling. The American Coupling took the British scripts and just redid them and Americanized them, and vice versa with this show. It's just like, why? I mean, sure, take the concept and that's cool, but then make it your own. Like Three's Company was a British show, and it started out similar, but they weren't doing the same exact stories as Man of the House, the British sitcom it was based on. So,
Yeah, I
or
mean,
whatever it was called, I think it was something like that, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah.
yeah, because like like there's sometimes like subtle cultural differences and stuff where it just doesn't really make sense to just like transplant it into another country. It feels kind of forced. Like there's really no difference other than like they changed the name of the band that they were gonna go see, like some called like Cockney Rebel, which is like a British glam rock band.
Yeah,
Whereas in the US version, I forgot who they're gonna see, someone. And
they're going to see Todd Rundgren in the.
that's right,
Yeah.
yeah. And then for some reason I could have sworn they were gonna see Led Zeppelin, but that must have been like another episode because I remember a scene where
Yeah.
like where Jackie's like, "Oh come on, I like Led Zepp," and they're like, "Don't ever call them Led Zepp
Yeah.
again." And but yeah, so they're gonna see Cockney Rebel, and it does kind of remind me though. So sometimes though, it is kind of bad though when you do change a little bit too much, like culturally. So for example, there is this really cool documentary back in the day I watched. Unfortunately, I don't think it's on Netflix anymore, but it was basically about how Russia wanted the guy who created Everyone Loves Raymond to do like a Russian version,
Oh yeah,
but
that's a
like
great documentary.
they completely changed the character. They're like, well, why is Raymond like the main character? Like he's not like super masculine and stuff. It's like because like that's not his character. Like
Yeah.
and they kept go log like basically at loggerheads because of like the differences, like cultural differences. Because like they also had like what's her name? Brenda? Is it Brenda? Uh uh I forgot her name.
Oh,
Ray's wife was
oh, Deborah.
Deborah, sorry. Like
Deborah.
they were like gonna have her like pretty much like all dressed up and stuff just to like do like housework, and they're like that doesn't make any sense. Like why like do you want to like dress like
Yeah, I mean that's a
like
cultural thing too, like way that they present things, and that. I mean, it's an interesting documentary.
Yeah, it is.
If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but it's got Phil Rosenthal taking the show over to Russia to try to redo it. Finally, they kind of get it right. But I mean, the thing is, it's like where if you take the, but like I think the best example of a remake, and a lot of people have their obvious qualms with the American Office from time to time, but they took the character types, the archetypes of each of those characters, and transplanted them to the U.S., but they went off on their own storyline. That's the difference. Like what I have issues here is like, why take the same exact script? I mean, this isn't a school play where everybody's doing their own version of The Odd Couple or The Crucible or something. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, do you want to get into the plot here?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay, so what goes on here on this lovely pilot episode?
Well, since it's it's the same script, I'm just gonna do a twofer here. But so just like in the American version, they're all kind of hanging out in the garage, or as Ron says, the garage or the garage.
Yeah, that's another difference too. The British version, they're in a garage. The American one, they're in a basement. But that's because there's not really many basements in Great Britain. So
yeah, I think that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I've never I've noticed that like in a lot of British shows, there's not really basements in a lot of just I guess how they build houses there differently. But, basements are not really great. I mean, they're always flooding and shit. But anyway, that's the whole thing. It's a terrible idea to build shit underground unless you have.
Yeah, that's why like in southern parts of the United States, they don't have basements, and they also don't bury people underground. Because a lot of times what will happen is people the bodies end up getting like washed away underneath the ground if there's floods and stuff.
Right. It's not good. So they're hanging out in the garage. Their parents are having like a party, and Hyde or whatever his name is in the British shows, basically telling Eric like, hey, goading him like, the party's reached critical mass, 10 minutes, we're not going to be able to get any beers or whatever. So pretty much just go up there, get some beers. Don't really talk to anyone. Don't stare at Donna's dad's hair for some reason. And then, it's like typical teenager stuff, like 4 beers between 4 people. Like what's 1 beer going to do for you, but whatever. It's just like, well, I'm not sure because I thought Eric said he was in college, whereas, and so he's a little bit older, I assume.
No, I don't think they ever said he was in college.
I thought he said, maybe I misheard it. I thought he said, I don't know, whatever. And so, he gets
at one time they said you're still in school.
I thought he said I'm in college or whatever. Or
no. He at one time he says I'm close to college.
Oh, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he grabs the beers. Again, Red or / Ron.
Yeah.
Maybe Ronald Weasley. Maybe that's why he wanted to name him Ron. I don't know.
I think it might just be because he didn't have red hair. Like
I know. Yeah, and so. Pretty much, it goes the same, it's like, what you got there, Eric? He's like, oh, beer. I just found them laying around. He's like, all right, well, put it back. And then he's just whatever. And then, his mom wants him to take the 2 beers there and put them in the freezer because they're warm. Yeah, so the racist thing was when they're talking about the fact that they have a Toyota car because of, the gas crisis or whatever. And then Ron says, something along the lines of, this car runs on rice or something like that. I'm like, whoa.
Well, they call it a rice burner. That's what they used to call those type of cars. Asian cars. Yeah.
Because of being Asian. But
yeah,
I'm like, ow. And then he's like, something about the last time I saw Japanese machines when it was shooting at me or something.
The last time he was that close to one, it was shooting at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that line is in the American.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the ice part. I don't remember that, but maybe.
Yeah.
And so Eric, he's pretty much just trying to get his beers, down to his friends, and they're talking about going to some concert. Jackie's kind of left out of the loop because Kelso slash McGuire doesn't really want her to come to the concert, but she finds out anyway because McGuire's kind of stupid and just kind of blurts it out, and then pretty much that's all the episode's really about. I mean, Ron finally gives Eric the car and gives him his whole speech about the car being a responsibility, and you have to treat it with respect and all that whole thing. And then just they're about to go to the concert, he's like, oh yeah, don't take it outside of Luton because it's an old car. And then Eric's like, oh well, I guess we're not going to the concert now. And they eventually convince him to go anyway. Same thing happens as in the American version. The car breaks down. They're talking to the mechanic. They can't afford the parts. So then he's like, well, give me 2 tickets to the Cockney Rebel concert, whatever. I'll give you the part or whatever, that type of thing. So it was decided that Jackie and McGuire would be the ones to not go to the concert because Jackie doesn't really care about the band that much anyway. She just wanted to go to be with McGuire, and it pretty much just all plays out the same way. I mean, the dude turns out that he's got a boyfriend and he's at the concert with him, and then they do the whole like I gotta go to the bathroom, and they go together because that's what they were talking about earlier because Jackie wanted Donna to go with her to go to the bathroom. And it pretty much ends the same way with Donna and Eric are sitting on laying on top of the car and just talking about the night, and like a one simple act of civil disobedience made him feel like a new man or whatever type of thing.
Yeah.
She kisses him just like the American version, and again, I mean, just pretty much just plays out exactly on American.
Yeah, it plays out the exact same way. And he's like, Donna's like, have a have a good night, and he's like, yeah, like I'm gonna sleep after that, after that she kisses him.
Yeah.
And then says something about, well, it'll be better next time. Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
And he's like, when is gonna be next time exactly?
Yeah. So it's pretty much the same script and everything. Changes that we have are like, localisms, we also have, so the cast includes, I'll tell you who the cast is. Max Rotzley as Eric Foreman, which they kept that name the same. You got Trevor Cooper as Ron Foreman instead of Red Foreman. Ann Bryson as Kitty Foreman, which is the same. You got Rosie Marcel as Donna Palmer instead of Pinciotti for some reason. You got Steve Steen as Bob Palmer instead of Bob Pinciotti. You got Sarah Stockbridge as Midge Palmer instead of Midge Pinciotti. I want to point something out here. Not to sound crass here. In the original, Midge has a rather large bosom.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where Eric's looking at her breasts and stuff. The Midge in this version didn't have quite as big, so it just seemed like the joke didn't land as well.
Yeah, I mean, he was still doing it, but it was just,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't. I mean, I'm not trying to sound crass. I'm just saying it didn't hit me the same way.
Yeah.
So we got Harry Peacock. That is the guy's name.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I just think that's a funny name. Anyways, as Dylan Jones instead of Stephen Hyde for some reason. I don't know why they decided to change, like, maybe Jekyll and Hyde. They didn't like the last name Hyde or something. I don't know why. Yeah. You got James Carlton as Michael McGuire instead of Michael Kelso. I don't know why they changed that. Maybe Kelso's not a British name. Emma Pearson as Jackie Burgett instead of Burkhart. And then you had Jamie Beck as Torbjorn Rasmussen. Torbjorn Rasmussen. Something, I don't know. It's Torbjorn. Rasmussen instead of Fez. That one I don't get at all. I don't. Maybe they don't have foreign exchange students in Great Britain, because the funniest joke of that, one of the funniest jokes of the American original is they say, "Oh, that's Fez, a foreign exchange student. Who'd we exchange him for?" Jackie says, which I thought was funny. That joke's totally not there in the in the remake. And and I mean, foreign exchange student, Fez is short for foreign exchange student. We never know Fez's real name. So
okay.
So that's a little better than knowing the character's full name, in my opinion. But then again, if they would have taken it off in their own direction, and my thing is why change some of the characters' names and not all the characters' names? Like they did, like with The Office, they, it's, instead of David Brent, it was Michael Scott. It wasn't. None of the characters' names are the same, so.
Or why not just completely change the show altogether and not just do the same exact script?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand maybe for the pilot like this,
Yeah.
but the fact that they did it with every episode that they.
Every episode, exactly.
I mean, I can understand it for like maybe 2 episodes. I'll give you that. But after that, start to forge your own, path here, It's a little difficult, to watch somebody kind of flounder in a remake.
Yeah.
I mean, they were decent. I mean, some of the actors were good. I mean, I liked the guy that played Eric. He was actually pretty good. So, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. Do you want to hear some reviews?
Yes, please, because I have nothing left I can say about it.
What's that?
I said yes, please, because I have nothing left that I can say about it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Here's one from 2020, February 23rd, from Lychee 1977. Horrendous. 1 out of 10 stars. Incredibly poor casted, with actors who look like they are knocking on 30, as opposed to the US version where the casting was perfect. Well, up until Randy in season 8, that is. The acting is appalling. There are some very capable actors in the show who went on to have good careers, but everything from Eric's parents, Donna's parents, to the 6 main characters was all done so badly. The US version was there as a perfect blueprint for the show, and it was badly messed up. No wonder only 10 of the British episodes were aired on TV. It's more like a parody. You can't even call it a rip-off, despite having a near-identical script, because it's so badly done. To call it a rip-off would be an insult to rip-offs. Just avoid at all costs. I wish I did. The US version is incredible, even season 8 when Randy's not in it. Okay. So yeah. Guy doesn't like Randy in there.
No.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, Randy was the character that what's his name? Seth Meyers' brother played. Yeah, the late night host Seth Meyers, his brother, played Randy for the last season, who was the replacement of Michael and Eric when they both left the show. So
okay, I kind of vaguely remember that stuff. Yeah,
it was better that they did what they did where they brought him in and just made him a new character, because their original idea was that they were going to send Eric off and he was going to come back looking different.
Okay.
And originally he was going to play Eric. Like he somehow got disfigured and had to have plastic surgery, like a soap opera or something, you know. So it was just like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm glad that they didn't do that.
yeah. So there is there's a really weird review here that I read that I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm going to read it. I never saw it, is the headline. This is by Nick Trigg, 1989, from May 2008. I love that 70s show and found out about the UK remake, and now I want to see it. Even though no matter where I look, it apparently sucks. There are no videos on the internet at all. There are now, but this is, over a decade ago. So, anyways, if you accidentally have some, please let me know and email them to me, or put them on a site or something. Thanks, loads. Apparently, I have to write 10 lines in order to submit this, so I think UK shows in general are similar to each other. I've never been able to get into a British sitcom. Not that I've tried much. In Canada, we get the show Frasier, and he has an English accent, which he doesn't. And I don't even like that show, so I really want to see that 70s show remake and judge for myself how awful it is. Thanks.
Wow.
I mean, Kelsey Grammer has an uppity accent, but it's not British.
No, it's not. Not even close.
It's like mid-Atlantic, basically, like the fake accent that they created for Hollywood.
Yeah.
So, here's one that I'm pretty sure is a joke. It's a 10 out of 10 review. This is the shit. This is from Gary Cool 12 back in November of 2008. 10 out of 10. It is the bomb. It just shows how brilliant the British culture can change the attitude of a show and make it so much better. If you have seen the American version, you will know how brilliant this show is because the American version is dire. First, you have Eric Foreman, a proper English bloke, who portrays as the original American Foreman, but plays the part so much better. Next, you have Ron Foreman. My name, Happy Face. He portrays a much better Red than that useless American imbecile Kurtwood Smith. For the rest of the cast, I believe they all played excellent parts in this brilliant production, especially the guy who plays Bob Palmer. In conclusion, I recommend that everyone in America should watch this show because it has the uniqueness where its spin of that 70s show failed to create.
Wow.
That's got to be
Yeah,
a
I
joke.
think it was probably sarcastic.
Yeah. Somebody else, like one other reviewer, is convinced that this one came before the American version.
No.
Yeah. I don't want to read it because there's nothing else to the review, really, besides them trying to argue the fact that this one came first. Even though it's easy to look up that it didn't.
I mean, yeah.
But because basically, I think they're a British person and they're saying that 70s show didn't start airing until 2000. Yeah, it probably didn't start airing in Britain until 2000.
Yeah. And then you get to watch that
Yeah.
along days like these
Mm-hmm.
on the same TV station, probably.
So,
Just kind of
yeah.
wild.
So, yeah, it's pretty much all we got on that. I'm looking forward. I mean, I've watched some of the episodes so far of that 90s show, which looks like a lot better, show connected to that 70s show than this, or that 80s show, which we covered in the past. So, yeah.
Yeah. With Glenn Howerton, yeah.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Mm-hmm. And what's her name from Supergirl?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, shoot. Got her name.
I did too, but It's okay.
The woman who plays Alex in
Yeah.
Super.
Any final thoughts here before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I would just try it out. It's kind of funny to watch just because of like I mean it's not funny, but it's just interesting to just see it kind of just sink, you know. And
It's kind of funny, strange, not funny, haha.
yeah, I mean I kind of had enjoyed it just from
Mm-hmm.
that perspective. So yeah, I would try it just to see the difference between the American pilot and the British pilot. It's on YouTube. Uh, the audio does kind of not sync up near the end a little bit, but it's not really a big deal because who cares?
Yeah.
And
There's a handful of episodes on YouTube, so you can check those out as well if you want. I watched them in the past, and it was just weird. I know, like the whole time, and it's like I think they're overdressed. Like they're not like their wigs look like wigs.
yeah, that's the other part. Yeah, there you go. I was trying to figure out why they look so weird, and
Yeah, like their hair isn't like in the original, it was really their hair for the most part. I mean, I think like Deborah Jo Rupp, who played Kitty, she wore a wig, but it was a realistic looking one. It's like sometimes you got to get a wig right for it to work on screen,
yeah.
because you can't have it look fake, or that's just going to throw off the whole look of the character. Everything else could be perfect. The clothes, even the mustache or facial hair. It's just if your wig is off, it's like, okay. It doesn't work like the wig party that we had in the United States. That didn't work too well.
What are you talking about? It was like, yeah, wearing not that kind of wig, no.
Oh.
No, we're not talking about WHIG.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the.
I wanted to start a wig party, but then it got really confusing because everybody came over to my house wearing wigs, and it was like, oh no, I was trying to start a political party here, folks.
We're trying to revamp, the wig party.
Yeah, but they all came here like most of them were wearing like those big rainbow clown wigs and stuff. It was
Well, I
weird.
guess
Yeah.
maybe George Santos would join your wig party,
But
because
it was kind of a commentary on the fact that most politicians are clowns. So
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, and plus George Santos being a drag queen is probably the only cool thing about him. But anyway, so
yeah.
uh,
I just saw about that earlier. I haven't even read into it. So yeah.
it's fine. I don't really care, to be honest. Like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one more thing that he lied about.
Yeah.
Know?
I just
Yep.
passed by it because I was like, is this even true? I don't know. So anyway, so
Yeah, it turned out it is true. Yeah.
but yeah. So I mean, the one thing I do suggest people go out there and find a good American show and go pitch it to the British people and get them to remake it.
And join the wig party while you're at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to join the wig party, you can message me at no, don't do that. Please don't.
Please don't. We don't want to. We're not a political podcast.
If you would like a link to this pilot episode we covered, you can email me at mike@cullenpark.com.
Yeah.
But now I'm probably going to get some email about joining the wig party. So
yeah. You're gonna have to create a whole new email address just for the wig party emails.
I will tell you, if you go to one of our higher tiers on their Patreon, we'll start one. So if you donate,
We'll
let you join.
We'll restart the wig party.
Yes. It'll be part of your incentive to give us some money to help support the show.
Yes. So we could restart an ancient party from like 200 years ago.
Yeah, because third parties work out so well in the United States.
I don't know what ideology was. I
don't even know. I just know what it was called. So
I just know that they existed. Yeah.
In my version, though, everybody will have to wear those rainbow clown wigs. So
Yeah, because it's like a double meaning. Yeah, it's a wig. You also have to wear wigs while you're deliberating, I guess. And I don't know.
So just make sure you're not like allergic to like acrylics and synthetics and stuff because most of those wigs. Anyway, so
I get one that uses real hair. Yeah. They're more expensive. They're more expensive, but they're definitely worth, the
yes,
extra few bucks.
that's when when a clown dies and donates their hair to wait.
Whoa.
Oh boy, where are we going? Anyways, so but make sure you do check out our Patreon. I really, it's a good way to support the show. Share the show. That's a great way to help, spread the word. It's also a good way to spread the word about our new political party. Oh wait, no, also, just, subscribe, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a stranger.
Yeah.
Tell a political candidate. I don't care.
Yeah, tell a political candidate that we're going to restart the Whig Party, but they're not invited unless we know more about them.
Yeah,
but,
get them to listen to the show, though.
Get them to listen. But yeah, if you hit the like button and write a comment, even that really helps with the YouTube algorithm. For some reason, it will.
Yeah, on YouTube. Also, like on any kind of podcast platform, like Apple and stuff like that you're able to rate the show. Give us a 5-star review or whatever their highest rating is. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's 5 wigs. And wigpod.com, which might be an actual website for all I know.
It might be like a podcast about wigs.
Yes.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the podcast for everything. Probably a podcast like Christmas lights, or I mean, light bulbs, or anything.
I mean, if
like
you donate
that.
to our Patreon, we'll do a whole episode about wigs if you want.
Oh, sure. The history of wigs. Why not? And then, I mean, come on, history. I love reading about stuff. Yes. But yeah, like leaving a comment and stuff, especially on YouTube, it shows the algorithm that there's engagement, and then that helps kind of just push it out there a little bit, so it might show up on other people's feeds.
And subscribe there too.
Yeah, that helps out too, obviously. Yeah, so those 3 things really do make a difference, to the algorithm. And we gotta make sure we appease the algorithm because that's our new god. So, we gotta make it happy,
Don't tell anybody. But the algorithm is the head of the Whig Party.
Oh, it is? Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that. Oh shit.
Shh. But just don't tell anybody, okay?
Yeah, well, I'm good.
Okay. But anyways, folks, be good to each other, whether you have a wig or not, and whether you wear bell bottoms. And remember that we love you. And bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.